And welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to be inserting cameras into our scene in our Prig project. So Shift A, go down the camera and just select the camera. Now what I'm doing is just going to position the camera where I want it to be. So this would act like a camera on a tripod, so a type of tracking camera. Okay, now we're just gonna go ahead and move it to the location in our scene. Now go up to View, Camera, and want to set to Active Camera. Now hit R twice on the keyboard to rotate and move, so you can position the camera to view it. So you can position the camera where you want it to actually focus on your pig. Now going down to the camera properties, and I'm going to change a few of these settings. Now the one thing I'll be looking at is the depth of field and the f-stop. So I'm going to use the selecting tool. I'm going to select our pig as our main focus point and just go ahead and change the f-stop. Now when you go with a wide depth of field, you're going to have sort of a nice crisp everything in focus, and a shallow depth of field, which is what I'm positioning it at the moment, is going to give us more of a bokeh effect. Now I'm just using my XYZ movements just to show you guys that you can move the camera to zoom it in and out, up and down, panning left and right. And you can also use the numeric values for the rotation as well, but we're going to just use the R on the keyboard to rotate. So R once will rotate from left to right or in a circular pattern, and R twice, so double tapping it, you'll be able to move it sort of free as if you would normally do it with a camera in hand. Now what I'm doing here is I'm inserting keyframes. So right clicking, inserting a keyframe will lock the camera into that location and rotation. So moving my timeline, now just moving my actual camera to where I want it to focus on again. Right clicking, inserting a keyframe. Right click again, insert a keyframe. Now that's for location and rotation. Now you want to make sure you do that for both. So just moving it again, repeating the process until you get your desired look that you're going for. Okay, just moving it backwards and forth just to see how it's all coming along. Now this camera is only going to be just for one specific scene or location. Now just inserting a new camera in a different location, I'm just going to speed this process up. It's the same as we did before, just moving the camera to where you want it to actually be, and then go ahead and start your keyframing process again by just right clicking and inserting a keyframe on your location and rotation. Now you can have as many cameras as you want, so this is another third camera in a different location. Now I'm going to use this in post where I'm going to cut between these cameras. Now what I'm doing is going to be inserting camera on the path. So the same path that where our pig's on, we're going to use a camera on that. So this is a sort of a first person tracking shot. So we're going to be focusing on the pig throughout the entire sequence. Like we did with the armature, we're going to add an object constraint, a follow path on the camera, and then we're going to select the path that we want it to follow. Now if you can't actually see your camera, the odds are it's just inside your pig in the 0 location any time frame. So just move your timeline a little bit forward, and then you want to make sure you're going to follow the curve And also you're going to use a fixed position as well. And we're going to actually move our camera using the fixed position. So we're just going to move it to where we want it to actually start. And like we did before, guys, you got to make sure you set to active camera. Now you're going to do this for every single camera later on when you want to render each camera out for your specific scenes. Your cut scenes, I should say. Now, like we did before, we're just rotating it, positioning it to have the desired focus. Inserting a keyframe like we've done before, but this time we're going to insert a keyframe on the fixed position. So we move the timeline forward in time to our new location, and then we're moving our fixed position to another desired location. There's no rules here, guys. It's whatever you desire, whatever look you're going for. And like before, position the camera, inserting a keyframe on the fixed position, inserting a keyframe on the rotation, and again on the location. Now you do this throughout the entire time you want this camera. Now this camera, because it is following a path, it's going to run for the entire duration. Now this scene goes for about 10 seconds, so this is a whole 10 seconds. Now it doesn't take that long to keyframe all these individual positions as you're moving around. I'm just going to speed this up as well because there's no point. It's exactly the same thing. It's repetitive. So you just keep going until you get to the final last scene you want it to actually end on. And then that's basically it. Okay, guys, I hope you liked that. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you want to leave me a comment down below, go ahead and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.